How are you doing, man?
What's up, man?
So we can jump right into it. So what closing experience do you have, if any?
Not at all, bro. New to it. Just trying to get a job as of now.
Okay, so you're pretty new to closing.
Yep.
All right, that's cool. Are you currently working?
And in high school right now.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Um, that's what's up. Are you looking to go to college or anything, or are you just trying to get a job and just start rolling?
That's why I'm looking into closing, man. I'm not really into school and that whole business.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's so basically what we're doing is our goal is for anybody that's closing with us to make $175,000 this year. Um,
Mhm.
now that's a 175,000 in commission, so that's 175 grand going into your bank account. That's our goal for anybody closing with us. Now, with our offer, it's actually passive residual income. So if you sell the offer the way it's designed to be sold, everybody that's joining and paying that initial buying that initial offer, they'll be paying every single year, and
Mhm.
you'll be able to collect that commission on a recurring basis every single year. So once you're successful at making $175,000 in your first year, your second year, it'll pay out in the same way as well.
All right.
All right. So with that, so basically, you can expect like the lifetime value of each customer to be over the course of 40 years. So if you do that math, you'll see that pretty much you'll be getting paid out around 175,000 each year. So it's a pretty nice opportunity there, and our offer itself is um, so I mentioned it was a humanitarian offer in the little voice memo I sent you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're actually selling a service, essentially, to individuals where they can cut their food bills in half. So we're a food subsidy program that helps individuals cut their food bills in half. Our ticket price is $300 per year or $30 per month, and they have access to our community through paying that. Now, if they're doing $30 a month, obviously they're saving money because 30 times 12 is 360. If they're saving money if they're doing the yearly. Now
Mm.
your commission on that is 50%. So basically, you'll be getting paid out 50% commission on every single sale you make. Um, and that is on a recurring basis. So if they're paying monthly, you're earning commission monthly. If you close them on the yearly package, you'll be getting that payment every single year. So
Mhm.
it's pretty nice there. And yeah, so our goal is basically for you to complete and close 1,000 sales within 1 year, and that sounds like a lot, but if you do the numbers, it's under 3 sales a day. But it
Yeah.
about
It's really not a lot.
yeah, it's not a lot. And yeah, so once you're successful at that, over the course of 40 years, 175,000 is 7 million over the course of a lifetime. So you can create an income of $7 million for you this year and have that paid out to you for the rest of your life. Um, so it's a really great opportunity there. We are helping people, we are serving the community. So it's a good product. But based off of what you've heard so far, before I really jump into the presentation itself, what are your thoughts?
It's interesting, man. Seems like something I can get into.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, with that being said, I'm gonna jump into the presentation itself and then give you more clarity about that.
Mm. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about my camera not being on, but I'm on my iPad right now, and it's kind of an older version, so the camera don't work that well.
It's all good. Okay, so United for Food. So United for Food is a food subsidy center. like I was mentioning. And essentially, what we're doing is we're building food centers around the world. We're looking to build 1,000 of these food centers globally. So it's an international project. And with that, basically how we operate is once there's a food center in a specific area, we would go to a local grocery store in that area, buy $10,000 worth of food, and we're selling that food for $5,000 cash. So we're selling it at a reduced price, essentially a 50%
Mhm.
price reduction in cash. Um, so we're operating at a cash loss. We're not operating in profit in cash, and we're aware of that, and we're comfortable with that. But that's just part of our goal there as a subsidy, and it's helping people save money on their food bills, and we're financed by a community that allows us to actually do that. So in
Mhm.
order to build a food center in any specific area, we need around 1,000 individuals in that town to set up a food center there. So, for example, I'm working in Philadelphia right now, and we're looking to build a food center in Philly. So we're gathering 1,000 members in the Philadelphia area who are interested in this concept. And once we have 1,000 members who are ready for the food center, we'll be able to invest in building the food center in that location because it costs around $50,000 in order to set up a food center. By getting the warehouse, leasing the warehouse, hiring the staff, all that kind of stuff. It costs money to do that. So we're looking for 1,000 people in any specific area before we invest into that local area itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to set up a food center and then have nobody be using it. That's a big cash loss for us.
Yeah.
So we don't want to sustain that. So our community that I mentioned itself has done. We started with Goodwill before we got into United for Food and that concept. We started with Goodwill. So this is some goodwill that we've done in Africa, and essentially a lot of these women that you'll see in these pictures, some of them are war refugees. So some of them have been raped and things like that. So it's not the best situation, but we're just trying to go in and help them out where we could. So we gave them around we gave this community around $200,000 in food products, things that they needed for their daily lives, and we were giving that away. It was completely goodwill. Now, I just want to mention that this individual that you see here, his name is Embe, and he was making $80,000, not 80,000, sorry, $80 a month as a school professor. And he started closing deals with us, and he's signed up well over 3,500 people now at this point. So he's made very good money working with us, and he's changed his life situation around entirely. So he's one of our community leaders in what we're doing. So as I scroll down here, you can kind of see that these communities, they're not necessarily living in the best of conditions. For example, like this is kind of like a village area, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, this is the houses that a lot of them are living in. It's really not. It's not even a house. It's just kind of a shack. So one of the foundational beliefs of our community is that nobody on planet Earth really should be living like this in today's day and age. So we're not just looking to address hunger as a community, but we're also looking to address poverty. Um,
Mm.
so we're looking to address poverty on a massive level, and we have a method in order to do that. Now, as we grow, we'll be able to address those subjects and areas more specifically. But right now, we're starting with food because food is something people need every single day. Um, and food is something people need every single day. People eat every day. Well, not everyone. Some people only eat a few times a week because that's what they can afford. But that's something we're looking to address. So Food is an important staple item, so we're starting there, and we'll be building out to other areas of economy that are important to people. So our community itself, it's called the Kringle Society. It's just a community. It's a global initiative. It's a sharing and eleemosynary society. Eleemosynary just means essentially charitable. It's a charitable society. So sorry, it's founded upon the principle that humanity is capable of lifting itself out of poverty, disease, lack, limitation, suffering, and ignorance into abundance and prosperity for everyone. So really what we're saying there in those words is that we're looking to build an abundance-based economy. Currently, our economic structures are operating around scarcity. But what I mean by that is, for example, like there's only so much to go around. Like these kind of concepts, these are scarcity-based concepts, but these are beliefs. This is not necessarily reality because if you look at nature, right? If you have one apple
Mhm.
seed, plant that apple seed, that'll grow into an apple tree with a lot of apples on it. If you take all the seeds from that apple tree and you plant all those seeds, you'll get a lot of apples. If you keep repeating that process over the course of 50 years, you'll have acres and acres and acres of apple trees. So, what that means is that nature operates on a principle of abundance, of multiplication. It's not 1 to 2 or even 1 to 3. From one apple seed, you're getting, 8, 10 apple seeds. And then from 8 to 10, you're getting and expanding even more and even more. Um, so that's how nature operates. So what we're looking to do is set up an economic structure that mimics natural law and how nature kind of works that way. Um,
Mhm.
so with that, the artificial scarcity that's existing in our economic structure has led to massive inequality kind of across the board. So I'm going to play a video that kind of breaks that down.
So I did some research, and this is what I found from reliable sources like the UN. It turns out that while the US is totally out of whack, things are actually way worse for the planet as a whole. Let's start with this graph. A perfectly even distribution of wealth among all living people, with everyone divided into 5 equal groups. Now, let's show how much each group actually has. Shocking, right? 80% of the world's people barely have any wealth. It's hard to even see them on the charts. Meanwhile, the richest 2%, they have more wealth than half of the rest of the world. Let's look at this chart another way. Let's take the whole world's population, all 7 billion of us, and reduce it to just a representative 100 individuals. Here they are, poorest people on the left, richest people on the right. Now let's show how the world's total wealth, roughly $223 trillion, is distributed. The vast majority have practically nothing. Nothing with which to educate their children, nothing with which to pay for basic medicines. While the richest 1%, they've accumulated 43% of our world's wealth. The bottom 80%, meanwhile, that's 8 out of every 10 people, have just 6% between them. But even this doesn't really show how extreme things have become. The richest 300 people on Earth have the same wealth as the poorest 3 billion. So the number of people it takes to fill a mid-sized commercial aircraft have more wealth than the populations of India, China, the US, and Brazil combined.
All right. So what do you think of that information there?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of messed up, but it's true.
Yeah, it really is. Man, one second. Me, I think my camera turned off. Let me get that going again. Stop share. All right, there we go. Yeah, I had to change locations. But yeah, so that's really the reality of the situation we're in right now. And this data is actually from 2013. So the numbers today are actually significantly worse than what you saw there, which is
Mm,
unfortunate. But I mean, to put that into perspective, this next video is from 2013, and it'll show just how much changed in 3 years.
2016 might become a more virtual world. It will also be a more unequal world than ever before. For the first time, the richest 1% of the population will enjoy a greater share of global wealth than the other 99%.
So what that's really saying is in that short amount of time, it shifted from those previous numbers to that number there, where the 1% has more wealth than 90%, 99%. And what that really means is that the majority of the economy is operating off of that smaller portion of wealth.
mm,
You can imagine just how different it would be if if the economy itself was operating off of the total wealth instead of that smaller portion of wealth. That itself would already be a massive difference. However, that's not the case. A majority of that wealth that's held in those hands is some of it is being put back into the economy, but a lot of it is not. So it's a little bit, that's the reality there. So what's the solution, right? So if we keep going in the direction that we are going, essentially we're kind of headed towards a situation where we'll lose a lot of our freedoms. We're set to end up on a system of universal basic income. Have you heard of UBI before?
yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, I'll just break it down a little bit, but essentially what UBI is it's a strategy to implement once automation takes place in our society. For example, once cars are kind of automated to where we don't necessarily even need drivers for Ubers, taxis, all that kind of stuff can be automated. Even tasks of a lawyer or financial services or things like that, it can all start to be automated. A majority of it can be automated. There will still be people that oversee specific things, but a lot of the day-to-day tasks that currently have people running them, a lot of that can be automated. The same is true for jobs inside of hospitals, even sales itself. A lot of people think sales is a bulletproof industry, but there's already automated AI software that's able to have conversations with multiple people at once. And on those conversations, a majority of people are not even aware that they're communicating with a program. They think they're
Mm,
talking to a real person. So sales can be replaced entirely. You can have one program that handles the entire sales channel for your entire company.
yeah,
Uh,
taking 1,000 calls a minute.
yeah, exactly. Human can't compete with that. So when that situation becomes a reality, it's win or once, once that situation becomes a reality, universal basic income is the solution to where the government will kind of give each person a fixed living wage to pay them so they can survive. Now they'll survive off that living wage, but they won't be living in abundance. They won't be living in prosperity. So that's not really what we want. We don't just want our needs met. We really want to thrive. So that's what we're looking to do. And the major thing to understand with that is money is a mutual agreement. So this video is a little bit comedic, but I'm going to play the beginning portion of it to really demonstrate a concept.
You owe me $50, but I'll accept that in Bitcoin, Feathercoin, Litecoin, or Kanye West.
LTAT. Good mythical morning.
What is this worth to you, Link?
I'd say $20, Rhett,
And why is that worth to you, $20?
because it says 20 on it.
And why does that matter to you? Why is it valuable
Because
to
the
you?
person I give it to get the thing I want also agrees that it's what I'm getting from them is worth $20.
That's currency. That's currency. Class dismissed. No, okay.
Okay, so that's the most important concept there is that $20 is worth $20 because we agree on it. So for example, if I was going to sell you my iPhone, right? and you said, okay, I've got $1,000 cash for you, right? You said that to me, and I was selling this to you. But I told you, hey, I don't accept cash. I don't accept US dollars. That has no value to me. Now, your currency that you think is worth 1,000 or whatever it is doesn't have any real value to me. So you can't actually buy this phone. So we wouldn't have agreement there. So for any transaction to take place, mutual agreement is a must. So when the government is issuing money, they're basically relying and betting on our implicit agreement to the value of that money they're issuing. So, for example, in the 1600s, around that area in time, there were some Native American tribes that used seashells as a form of currency. So anything can actually be a form of currency. It's just, it's a matter of mutual agreement. So as long as you agree upon the value, then you can conduct a transaction with it. So what
Mhm.
we've done is we've created in our community, we've created a private digital currency. So it's similar to Bitcoin and things like that, but actually very different. So the dollar form of that is TBC, and the penny form, so like dollars and cents, the penny form of that is Kringles. So that's how the denomination is broken up. So TBC is the larger one, Kringles is the smaller. And so far, we have 3.75 million members in our community that actually hold this currency. We're looking to grow to 1 billion. And we have a strategy on how to do that. Now, when I'm saying 3.75 million members hold the currency, so what that means for United for Food is that anybody that joins United for Food also has the opportunity to acquire this currency, and it's the same offer. It's not like an upsell or anything like that. They're receiving the currency as part of that $30 a month or that $300 a year they're paying for. So it's kind of a double offer there, and it's pretty nice. As I explain more about the currency, you'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, so they're getting this currency along with their access to the food centers themselves. So this next video is the last video in the presentation, but this video breaks down the structure of the currency itself.
Mhm.
You are conscious. You are self-aware and capable of higher thinking. You and all of humanity are more valuable than precious gold. A mountain of gold by itself cannot do all the things you can do. You are more valuable as a living man or as a living woman than anything else in this world. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Mankind is the most valuable thing on earth, and you are a part of it. We are inviting you to become part of a currency that recognizes you and your birthright to live in abundance. We are in the final stages of our global distribution.
So those opening statements there about the worth of mankind, a lot of people overlook that, but actually, in my opinion, those are some of the most important statements we're making in this video. For a few reasons, but mainly because what we're saying is every individual, even the poorest person alive, right? They're actually worth more than all the money in the world, more than all the gold in the world, more than anything in the world, each individual. So that's the kind of value we're placing on human life itself. It's really a different way of looking at things from in compared to how our current economy kind of looks at the value of an individual. For example, like currently, if an individual makes 50 grand a year, that's kind of what they're worth. If they make 5 million a year, that's what they're worth. But either way, they're attaching a monetary value to somebody's worth, which is not really great for a lot of reasons. So we're coming from a very different place in the economy that we're building and the currency that we're structuring, and that we're saying, you know, each individual is worth more than all of that money. And
Without the person, the money has no value.
right, exactly. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Without the person, the money has no value. Um, and that's actually a very good point, is that our community, the real value of our currency is the people in our community. It's not, it's because it's measured by gold. Not backed by gold, but measured by gold, or it's because it's worth this amount in US dollars. That's not the real value. The real value is the community and the membership that we have. So yeah.
Distribution of this currency that only goes up in value as each new member joins it. It's the members of our community that bring value to our currency, and we measure that value in grains of gold. We're in the distribution phase of our currency, while we've been building a new economy around it from the ground up over the past 3.5 years. Merchants all over the world accept our currency, or partially accept our currency as payment for their goods and services. We want to give you a gift of some of it that is valued over $2,500, which you can use immediately with our participating merchants. During the distribution phase, we have two classes of members. You will either hold enough coin to become a billionaire or a millionaire. The creator of this coin has made enough to create 1 million billionaires and 1 billion millionaires to establish an economy based on abundance, which will pull out all of the stops suppressing humanity into a perpetual state of poverty and misery. It's time for humanity to lift itself up. The creator, otherwise known as the admin of this coin, is ready to distribute enough of these coins to you to turn you into a millionaire or billionaire in exchange for you completing some simple tasks. This is on top of the gift we will give you. In other words, you do not have to have millions and billions of dollars to buy into these positions. All you have to do is complete some simple tasks, and you will be rewarded with a mass quantity of these coins. In fact, it will be easy to turn you into a millionaire this week. Wow, think about that. You could be a millionaire this week. The best part is that we can do this lawfully. We are at peace with all governments around the world, and we are recognized as a private, self-regulated society. Since we don't offer coins on the public market exchanges, we are free from the tethers that governments place on the market-based coins. We are free from the same regulations and tethers that have been used for so long to suppress humanity into a perpetual state of poverty and misery. You can finally be free to live a life of abundance. Isn't that what you always wanted? For more information about this, please read our public notice. So, you may be wondering how much this is going to cost you. Yes, of course, building and maintaining a global currency costs money, right? Everything can't just be for free. There is a monthly admin fee that needs to be paid to make all of this possible. Common sense will tell you that. So how much is that? The monthly admin fee is only 8 grains of gold, payable digitally. Well, how much is 8 grains of gold in USD, you may be asking? Is it $250? I mean, that would be a good deal if it was, because the gift is worth over $2,500, right? No, it's not $250 a month. By the way, our currency is free from transaction fees and middlemen. 0 transaction fees. Is the admin fee $100? No. How about $50 a month? No again. 8 grains of gold is about $25 today. That's it. Remember, this could turn you into a millionaire within a week, and it may only cost you $25 to make that happen once you complete the tasks required. If you can't manage to take advantage of this offer, don't worry. We have many jobs available where you can earn some of this currency, but these jobs won't pay you enough to become a millionaire so fast. But maybe over the years, you can build up to that level. Every economy has workers at the bottom of it, right? The choice is yours. Do what it takes to become a billionaire, a millionaire, or become a worker supporting this economy that will make the world a better place to live in for all of us. Or you can even go away and keep supporting the current financial system that has been responsible for so much misery and perpetual poverty in the world. Make a good choice today.
All right, so that's kind of a lot of information, but what did you think about what you saw?
Seems like a great program to get, people back on the right track.
Yeah. What kind of questions do you have?
I have none really about like the program. I have one question for you though.
Yeah.
What would you say was like the hardest thing for you coming in to this like business or, you know.
The hardest thing for me was actually shifting from a sales mentality, the typical sales mentality, to a position of service, because that's kind of where we're coming from with this is because I was in sales before I started doing this. So the hardest thing for me was really connecting to the kind of approach that I need here, where we're not really selling people, we're genuinely trying to help them.
Mm.
So it's a very different type of approach than going in and you like. There are times where you might get like you might hard close somebody. There are times when you would do that, but like a majority of the time, you're really operating from a place of service, and you're only going to the hard close if you really need to. You're not really coming from there the whole time. So it's very different from a typical sales mentality. So that was something that was hard for me. But I mean, once I started taking a look at that and became aware of it, then I started plugging in those pieces. But I mean, yeah, like if you're able to connect with what we're really doing here and the place we're trying to come from, and also get on that same energy and come from that same kind of place, then it's pretty simple to present what we're doing, and people really resonate with this concept. Like if they actually take the time to understand what we're talking about here, they respond really well. um I mean, like 10% of people will kind of shut you down before they hear it, but if somebody actually hears you out, it's a very small percentage of people that are resistant or not interested in what we're doing here, because we're legitimately trying to help humanity. We're legitimately working to create a better world. And there's really not a lot of people who are against that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But that's a good question. So now that's an offer that we're selling to others. Anybody that is selling what we're doing also has the opportunity to join our community and take part in that offer itself as well. So for example, like you could make some sales and decide, you know what, let me acquire some of the currency too. I want to do that. Or you could decide, you know what, I just want to acquire the currency right away and then start selling from there. That way I'm really immersed in this. I mean, so you could do it either way, but what I'm saying is you have the opportunity to acquire the currency if you choose to. Now let's say you did, right? You would have, at least at this stage of growth that we're in, you would have the opportunity to be on a team called the Rotator. The Rotator is the top 111,000 individuals in our structure. And what they'll receive is they'll actually receive up to $500,000 a month in Bitcoin funding. And that funding, the intention of that funding is to be put towards economy building activities. So what I mean by that is like essentially, for example, I'm interested in energy research, medical research, and also low income housing projects. So
Mm.
those are just a few of the things I'm interested in. But I would basically be dividing up my funding to put towards those tasks. Now, different people I've talked with are interested in different things. I've talked to others that are interested in energy, others that are interested in medical research, and others that are interested in low income housing as well. So we could pull together funding with all of those individuals and really finance some pretty awesome operations there.
Yeah.
So let's say you were on the Rotator, right? And you were receiving up to $500,000 a month in funding. What is something you could see yourself putting that towards to benefit the economy we're building?
I would say definitely low income housing. And for me, I was a big sports person coming up in the youth.
Yeah,
So I would like, if not being able to like start up like, if it's not like a basketball league, some type of recreational like league or something for like to get kids, into like, something that are like that they can, build a future in, or, just to keep them busy through like, the days. Cause that's what I found a hard time when I was growing up. It's just like, yeah, staying busy, finding something to do other than, just being outside.
right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it gives them something to do, keeps them on a positive kind of mindset, you know. But yeah, I mean that's really great. Yeah, community rec leagues, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot you could do with that. Because the thing is, a lot of rec leagues they don't really have good funding. So
Yeah, I've been firsthand. I know about it.
yeah,
You
so
get a scrappy jersey. You gotta buy everything else.
yeah, so if you got funding, you can create a really nice rec league, and it can be a national or even international kind of campaign
Hmm.
going on all over the world. So that'd be really awesome. Um, so yeah, that'd be great. And so with the rotator, you know, it's 111,000 members. They're actually getting paid out. So from the program fees that every individual is paying for United for Food, and in order to receive the currency as well, the individuals will be getting like the individuals on the rotator will be getting paid out from those program fees. So that's where the funding is coming from. Um, and I mean, it's a pretty interesting system. You'll have the opportunity for that funding. There's a lot more involved there. But with our community, we have an expectation of lifetime personal development because these positions that an individual is acquiring, they're kind of come with the expectation of lifetime stewardship. So that means really only the serious should commit to it. It's not for the kind of person that just wants to make money fast and get out. Like we're looking for people that are here for the long haul, and have a lifetime commitment to the kind of community that we're building, the kind of change that we're trying to do in the world, and that's what we're really selecting for. So that's an important concept to understand. But the other thing is we put a strong emphasis on education to where like for example understanding of organizations, understanding of how to manage employees, understanding of business, all that kind of stuff. It's an important part of what we're doing because you need to have literacy in those areas in order to operate at a high level with the assets that individuals would be acquiring. So we have a lot of people in our community that are kind of from third world countries, and we've invested a lot of time into elevating their understanding and getting them to a higher place of thinking. So one of our goals, I mentioned we're looking to reach 1 billion members. So one of our basically methods in order to do that is a system called rapid rewards. So before I go into that, let me zoom in here. So you see that $2,500 free gift that was mentioned in the video. It's
Mhm.
actually worth, that's actually 0.00025 of coin. So that's the $2,500 value there. Now, if a person creates a free account with our community, they'll still receive that gift just for creating that free account. But these are the different programs they're in. So that $30 a month, that $300 a year places them in this category. Now, in that category, they'll have access to a distribution of the coin every single month. They'll also have access to a reward structure. For example, we have daily Zoom meetings, and in those daily Zoom meetings, we essentially reward individuals for showing up and being an active participant in those meetings. And for doing that, they can receive up to a whole coin every single day, uh,
Mhm.
which is a really nice thing. I mean, so 2,500 is down here, so a whole coin's worth a lot more than 2,500. But like I said, we're in the distribution phase, so we have an abundance of coin to give out. Now, if somebody's in the lower package, they'll obviously so they'll receive less, but it's less by 100 times plus. So it's significantly less. But the price itself is only around a 50% difference in price. So, for example, this package is basically around $14 a month. So it's not. It's only the price difference is not that much in cash, but the rewards as far as TBC goes is drastically different.
Mhm.
So with Rapid Rewards specifically, so you can see here Rapid Reward 24, Rapid Reward 48. You see 20 coin reward and 50 coin reward. That's a lot of currency. So the reason we have that is to take advantage of a process of duplication. So for example, within the first 24 hours of an individual signing up, so let's say you sign up, right? You have 24 hours to sign up 2 others, and once you're successful at that, you'll earn 20 TBC as a reward for doing that. Now, if those 2 individuals you sign up are successful at signing up 2 individuals themselves, they'll receive 20 coins each, but you'll actually receive an additional 50 coins. So what we're kind of doing there is instilling the concept of duplication at least 2 generations down. Um, and the reason we do that is because if you're concerned with duplicating not just for yourself, but getting your people you bring in to duplicate for themselves as well, then that helps us duplicate through our community structure. And the reason duplication is important is because the power of those numbers. So let's look at this chart here. So let's say I'm the first person, right? And then I talk to you. Now there's 2 of us. Then we go out the next day and we talk to some people, and now there's 4 of us. So every day, if we double, and the numbers double every day, so like from 2 million to 4 million, 4 million to 8 million, every day if those numbers double, let me go back. We can be at 1 billion members in 31 days time just from doubling. Now that is not virality. That's not going viral on TikTok, going viral on YouTube, anything like that. That's just through doubling, and that's how fast it can happen. So doubling is a very powerful thing. That's why we're really, that's why we have rapid rewards. That's why we really put that concept into place. So that's an important thing to understand, and something we help individuals do for in order to double is we give them a basic kind of script. And this isn't necessarily for a experienced closer, but this is something for an average individual or a beginning closer that any of them can take advantage of. And we have an entire layout of how to actually execute beyond this initial statement. But in short, you can text 10 friends, or really all the friends and family that an individual knows. They can text them, just say, "Hey, I have a gift for you. Time is short. Call me." Um, and a lot of them will respond to them and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And then we have a scripted conversation that an individual can just learn and walk through with that person to where they're getting them to sign up for that $2,500 gift, and that person is receiving that gift of coin. And then we're leading them into a presentation where they understand more about the currency itself. A presentation similar to this one, but this one is more oriented to somebody looking for an opportunity. But it would be the same content. It would just be worded and phrased differently and delivered to that individual. But so they would enter that presentation, get an understanding about what we're doing, and then gain an awareness about the program packages we offer. So that's an easy way to bring people on for those kind of individuals. Now, in regards to commissions itself, so our commission program is called Bitcoin Bounties. This number is actually low. It's around 9.5 million right now. We've paid out over 9.5 million in Bitcoin Bounty commissions to individuals in our community so far. That's a pretty decent amount because the commission program has been around for 3 years. So this number is going to keep growing. But yeah, so we're paying out 50% of those program fees to anybody that signs somebody up and has them do a paid account. So that's how much we paid out in commissions for that. So it's a pretty good opportunity, like I was saying, but it's also work today, get paid today. So you don't have to wait for a paycheck. You don't have to wait 2 to 3 weeks. That money can hit your account in the same day. So it takes around 15 minutes for it to deposit and then show up, and then you can transfer that to your account right away, and that'll be there in the same day. So it's pretty nice that way, because if you got bills or if there's something you're trying to buy or whatever it is, or something you want to invest in, all you got to do is just close some deals and you have that money available to you.
Mm.
So you already know this. I presented this to you already, but this is the yearly offer where an individual can basically pay yearly and pay 300 instead of 360. So they're getting 12 months for the price of 10, but the commission for the person signing them up, for the closer or the sponsor, The commission is actually based on the full 12 months. So that closer is still getting the full commission as if they were paying monthly, but the individual is also receiving a discount. So it's good for both parties. So it's always nice to sign somebody up for that annual because it's a bigger payout sooner.
No worries.
So yeah, that brings us back to United for Food. So we're building these food centers, and we're basically buying the food and selling it at a loss in cash. But the part I didn't mention earlier is that, so when we're doing 50% cash, we're also selling it for 50% TBC. So they're able to spend the currency at these food centers. Now, the amount of currency that they're acquiring for $30 a month, that program that they're paying, is a lot more than $30. So the amount of money they'll be spending on the food is very minimal relative to the amount of currency they're acquiring. So they legitimately are saving 50% on their food cost. Now, for United for Food itself, an individual would be able to purchase up to $100 a week in food and only be spending $50 in cash, $50 in TBC. So their cash expense for food each month, they could buy up to $400 of food a month and spend $200 on that food, and then $30 a month, or it would be $300 for the year on the program fee itself. But so it would be around $230 a month coming out of their pocket to acquire $400 of food, and that's not including the actual TBC that they're acquiring and anything like that. So just based off of that number specifically, 230 to acquire 400 of food. What do you think about that offer? Just that part.
Like a lot of people need that, but they don't know about it. So
You said what?
said a lot of people need it, but they don't know about it. So
yeah, that's our job.
Like my job to help them.
Yeah, our job is to help them. And like, honestly, like what we're doing as a community and as economy that we're building, like for me, I kind of treat it as like missionary work. When I'm out here, I'm talking to people and stuff like that, like it's coming from the same kind of place. That's really where I'm coming from, because I'm trying to bring abundance into their life and get them to a more prosperous state, so they can have time to really work on themselves and not just be caught up in trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people are just thinking about their next paycheck. They're not really working on themselves and their connection.
Yeah, people are like don't understand that when like you stop thinking about money, you'll make more than you ever thought you could.
Exactly. Right.
When you're thinking about it, it's just clouding your vision when you think about money.
Yeah, exactly.
You stop thinking about it, you start making more than you was when you were thinking about it. You're like, what happened?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You have a different relationship with money. So that's pretty much the main information in the video. So based on what you've seen so far, I'd like to know where your thoughts are at.
It's great, man. It seems like it's somebody I could work for and help some people out and also help myself out.
Yeah, for sure. So for you, would actually joining our program be something you're interested to do at some point in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bet. So
we actually get it set up today if you would like to.
all right, yeah, we can do that. So I can I got another meeting coming up. That's why we scheduled for 9:30 a little bit earlier, but we did start late here. So what I'll do for you is I'll message you on Facebook, and then I'll send you the information on how to do that. But basically we can get you set up, and then we can get you on the account and everything like that. And then you can start working on bringing in those first 2 people right away, so that way you can get that bonus TBC.
Yeah.
All right. Word. So for you, are you I'll just ask you straight up, are you loose for $300, or what's your situation like?
$300?
Yeah.
Not at the moment. I can do like some like payments.
Yeah, so you would probably do 30 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, we can get you on the 30, and then that way you can receive the currency and experience everything, be on the inside, see the inside of the website, all that kind of stuff. And then with that, no worries. So with that, once you start earning some commissions, you can jump into the annual, because basically the reason why it's advantageous to the annual is, yeah, you save money for doing that, but also once we fill out our core team is the top 11,000 members. Once we fill out the core team, there's going to be a promotion of 1,000 coins to anybody that has made an annual payment after January. So, and even if they made it in February, they're going to receive 1,000 bonus coins, which is a lot. We just finished a promotion last month for individuals to receive 500 coins for making an annual payment. But now we're waiting for our core team to be filled out before we do another promotion. So if we'll try and get you on an annual payment before that time. That way you can receive that promotion. But I mean, that's going to be like at least a month from now, potentially 2 months. It just depends on the development of our community. But I mean, yeah, so we'll get you closing deals way before that. I mean, our goal is to get you closing a deal and signing people up within the next 24 to 48 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So then, and then long-term as in goals for this year would be close 1,000 deals, earn $175,000 in commission, and have that as lifetime commission coming into you every single year. So those are our short and long-term goals there. So yeah, you got all the information you need. I'm gonna message you on Facebook, and then he just keeps calling me. And then we'll take it from there.
All right, man.
All right. It was really great talking to you. I'll message you in about a half hour.
All right, man. Have
All
a
right.
good day.
All right. You too. I'll talk to you.
All right.
Peace.